Hello, everybody. Welcome to Best Whole New World, where you can have your best whole new world. I'm Jacqueline Best. This is Beloved, and we're talking about the journey to awakening today. It's a fabulous day. It's always a fabulous day, and it's even more fabulous because we're going to talk about why it's so fabulous.
That's right. And that, just because that's where our attention will be, will make it even more
Fabulous.
It's also Pi Day, And there's so many synchronicities today because, Stephen Hawking,
Yep.
the planet yesterday, and it was Einstein's birthday, right? Do you know all the scientists that were born or left on one another's day, either their
No.
birthday or their leaving day, which is each
No.
other birthing day? Oh my gosh. Go back and look. I don't have all of it, but it's like um, Einstein, Newton, Hawking's, um, they either came in or left on one another's day. It's very
So
interesting
it's kind
how
of
that
like a
happens.
continuation of the scientific discovery. It's this
Yes,
idea that there was once upon a time a birth of idea, and even though that physical body no longer carries it, the next one carries and continues.
absolutely.
We,
Absolutely. It's like that spiral. We just keep going up. Like the spiral comes in, and instead of coming back to itself, it goes up that next level and that next level and that next level. So I think that is a very delicious thing to think, you
well,
know?
I like that it goes up, right? You know, I sort of did a little post that we're climbing the ladder to ascension, but some people think, oh, it goes down. Okay. So it's all perception. And here we're talking about the journey to awakening. We're talking about ascending and awakening to
Yeah,
your possibility of joy. And it's new
exactly.
and it's fabulous.
Yes, absolutely. So one thing I really want to talk about today is the new moon portal is open.
Yay.
Yay! And of course, for
What
me,
does that mean, beloved? There's people watching going, what does that
I
mean? The new
know, so
moon
I'm going to
portal.
tell
Am
them.
I in a Star Trek movie? What's going
Yes,
on?
yes, we're always in a Star Trek movie, right? No, for me, when I speak about portals, I speak about um, openings, right? Not like a black hole opening or a dimension opening, but I'm speaking in terms of time. So, um, for example, a moon portal happens 3 days, then the day of lunation. And that all lunation means is the day of the time. So, like the lunation of the new moon or the full moon. So, the energy's building for these 3 days. Then you have the day of lunation, and then another 3 days as the energy begins to dissipate. So, for me, I call those portals.
So
And the,
let's just hold on a second here. For some reason, I feel like somebody's listening right now that needs to get clear that a new moon is
yes,
when the moon first starts to show in the sky again as that little sliver,
the
right?
little,
We all know when it's full moon, but that's really what we call the new moon because
yes,
sometimes they never taught that in school. And if you've never taken astrology or anything like this, they're like, what are you talking about?
you're so right. You're so right. Yes, it's that little teeny, teeny, teeny sliver in there. So that's the new moon.
Right.
And when the moon is in a particular phase, there are specific energies related to that phase. And those are energies that can support us on our awakening, on our journey. So, for example, the new moon is just as it sounds, right? It's about beginnings,
Mhm.
it's about birthing. I like to say it's the portal of creation. And um, if we learn to align ourselves energetically
Right.
And we have all this cosmic support so that we learn, okay, if I want to start something, and the farmers have known this forever, right? Look at the
Right.
Farmer's Almanac. If I want to begin something or to plant something, I'm going to do it by the new moon. When is harvest time, right?
Biodynamic farming. I remember
Yeah,
first hearing that you plant by the moon phases, and I was like,
right.
what? What are you talking about? And like, I could only go weed after the full moon. Like, so the third quarter, and I'm like, why can't I weed? I would feel like weeding today. And it's like, no, you can only weed after the full moon because the growth period happens from the new moon to the full moon. And then you can pull out the weeds from the full moon to the new. I was like, okay.
Yes. And then you're in sync with the plant's natural life cycle.
Okay.
So then when it's time to weed or time to harvest, it's like the plant is surrendering itself. But if you take it too early, it hasn't finished. It's not ready. I was laughing with a friend yesterday because the weather is so crazy right now. And I'm thinking about Asheville. We had another snow today. Now last week, the jonquils were up. The crocuses were up.
Oh, and they all got covered in snow now?
Yeah.
Oh.
So on my walk last night with my friend, and I was talking about this, I said, so every time I see one, I'm going to say, no, 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 not yet, not yet. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. It's not time yet. Because we all have a cycle, right?
Right.
I mean, we have a cycle. Um, People have cycles. And
My
when we talk about the moon, I want to talk about women's cycles, but men have cycles too.
Yeah,
Right?
my dog
But
has a cycle. I have a black lab male dog that
yeah,
is not fixed. And I know in his cycle, it's like at this particular time, the women go and he will go on a little adventure. So we've been playing the last week, discovering him in places, that we never been. Like he likes to hang out at the gas station in town,
I know.
busiest part of the intersection, and people are just enamored that he likes to come hang out and sniff around because he's smelling something. And I'm okay with it because that's his natural aspect.
And I'm telling you, our beautiful four-leggeds can go miles. We used to find one 20 miles away. I mean, a small little four-legged with 20 miles, we would get phone calls. So, I mean, it's crazy, right? When they say follow the scent.
Oh yes, it was like
So essentially, that's what we're doing when we align ourselves or attune ourselves to Luna's energies, to the moon energies.
right.
And so just knowing what those energies are gives us an opportunity to have more support. So that's all really we're talking about.
Well, so we declared it's fabulous today because it's a fabulous day. So for anybody that is having anything other than a fabulous day, it's a new beginning because we're declaring it's fabulous. It's 3 days before the new moon. So we're opening you up and maybe you'll be like rejoicing and dancing by the new moon.
That's absolutely, absolutely. So these energies are really cool because the new moon is in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is a water element. So we know that would affect, things like emotions, right?
Right.
Things underneath. But Pisces is also the most psychic sign of the entire zodiac. So you might notice that you feel things or know things in a different sort of way, or just be more in tune, during this new moon, because oftentimes people say they feel more aligned and knowing during the full moon cycle. But
Well, so let's actually make that a little tangible for somebody that's starting out here going. So you're saying if you're going to be maybe more in tune, that might mean you get a thought, for instance, to cancel an appointment. and you know, or just to phone ahead and make sure that the appointment's still on. And your logic says, why? Because I've confirmed this 3 times.
Yes.
You have this feeling, and if you trust that feeling, you're likely to discover that, yes, something came up and you had to cancel, or that person can't make it all of a sudden, even though you were so sure it was going to happen. That's the type of thing you're talking about, right?
Exactly. And I just call that your knowing.
Right.
So yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So in the whole month of Pisces, you know, which
goes to March 21st.
The 20, it ends, yes, the 20th,
the next week.
The last day.
Okay.
So it rules the 12th house, which is a house of mystery and connection with the divine.
So that's kind of collective, the 12th house, isn't it?
Yeah, it is that as well. So we're in this really kind of, deep time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, now as you know, I'm all about numbers. That's a really big thing to me. I love number codes. I mean, I just love them.
Well, the universe, if you talk to science, it's all numbers. That's all it is.
I know. So this new moon is going to be at 26 degrees Pisces on March 17th. So I want to take a look at
those both add to 8.
That's right. That's where I was going with that. So we take the 26 degrees, we add the 2 plus the 6, we get 8. We add the 1 plus the 7 for the 17th of March, we get an 8. So that is a double 8-8 code. Now,
and if you turn 8 on the side, it's the affinity symbol.
That's the whole point. 8 is infinity. But what is it infinity of? It's an abundance sign.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's true abundance. And it's never ending, right? It's a never ending sign. And it's as above, so below. And if we keep it not on its side, it's connecting heaven and earth, which is what we do, right? So right. I kind of invite you to take a look at your crown. We call this the crown chakra up here. It's an energy center for those.
Not necessarily our princess crown, just our crown chakra, yes.
Exactly. Or the top of our head, right? So if we imagine just for a moment that we are that 8 and the top of our head is the top of the 8.
Right.
And our feet, which touch earth, are the bottom of the 8. Then what I like to do is imagine that our heart is a connecting point. So it's the same thing as the chakras, right? Because the upper chakras, excuse me, are throat, third eye, and crown. The heart connects the lower chakras, and lower just means connected more to the earth, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. This only happens when we're doing.
Well, that's okay, because there's other things that I've discovered as we are open here to this Facebook portal. Okay, we are putting out all this wonderful energy, but there's also other energy that is present, right?
No, they always come in. Always. So,
and can I just add? Okay, so on one of those. So in feng shui, for instance, for anybody that's heard of that conversation, the Chinese, that they love houses with an 8 or an 8-8 would be great.
Yes.
Right? Where a house with a 4 is the one they avoid, because 4 in Chinese sounds like death. So Okay, so that's the hot tip there is just something because you can divide the 8 by that's working. No, you need the 8. You need to go around and round and they really the Chinese love the way the words sound because when they Hong Kong, I don't know why I'm telling the story, but obviously I'm telling it now. Hong Kong went back to England. A lot of them came to live in Canada in 2 places. One in Richmond, BC, because it meant Richmond. Rich man,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Same thing. We had a Richmond Hill where that's where I live, and that's where they all moved in there. They wouldn't move to any of the other places. They just wanted to move to the place that sounded like Richmond.
yeah.
They probably went to Richmond, Virginia, also.
Sounds right to me. Richmond and Loveland.
Loveland. Yes, exactly. There you go. But they wanted the rich. They weren't so keen on the love. They wanted the riches. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
But true rich is the full of love and freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are the two, the two real things. So that's what the 8 is.
Okay.
But I'm the angel lady. So when we look at the angel number 8, again, it's infinity, but it's infinity of only delicious things, right? So it's like infinity of joy, infinity of abundance, infinity of love, infinity of all the fabulous things. And
So
they
does this mean that we could be in the new, when you talk about being in the portal, it's being in that space and time of recognizing that you have all this abundance? Is that the idea, is to line yourself, to feel it and to be present to it and notice it and put your energy towards it? So you're like planning your trip, but you're planning your awakening of abundance?
Yes, when you're working with the 8.
Yes.
But because that's what that is. Yes, and remember that where our thoughts go, energy flows. That's what we ignite, right? We ignite whatever we're thinking about.
Right.
So, and Emoto proved that with the ice crystals.
Yes.
Dr. Emoto did experiments with water, putting water into containers, into vessels, and then writing words on them. And then they froze them and they looked at the ice under a microscope. And the water that had beautiful words like love and health and joy, those things, the ice crystals were absolutely exquisite.
Yes.
But those that had not such beautiful messages, the ice crystals were very weird. They weren't complete in some instances. The patterns weren't there.
Right.
I mean, I used to do this crazy thing when my husband was on planet and, we taught together at the university. And when I would teach energy and auras, I learned a lesson, but I would stand on stage in the front of the room and I would ask people to just send me, beautiful thoughts, whatever it is, just send nice thoughts. And I was teaching them to read auras. And my aura would get really, really, really big. And of course, they didn't see that. And then I'd say, okay, now think something about me that's not so great. And they would watch my aura just, my field shrink.
Right.
And it does. I decided after a while I wasn't going to do it that way anymore. Or I could reverse the order. Because our thoughts are things. So yes, if we use this moon portal to work on manifesting our abundance, and abundance means many things to many people, right? It could be vibrant health is abundance. Love is abundance. Friendship is abundance. A new car is abundance. Money is abundance. So there's all kinds of abundance. So yes, if that's what people focus on, then that's one thing to bring in. And before we close today, I have this wonderful experience I would like to guide people through that combines the number 8
Well, that's
and intending abundance.
yes.
So,
I think everybody would love that.
yes, I think so too, and it's so fun.
Because that was just what I was going to ask you. So now they're all excited, beloved. Now what do they do?
I know. Well, okay, we can do this. We can do this first, and then I'll tell you more because there's so much more. The angel, the tarot card, all these beautiful Pisces energies.
Well,
but right,
you're also doing a new moon ceremony on the 17th, correct?
yes.
Okay. So they're also going to participate in they can participate in that one too. So let's go with the creation of this, what you're going to lead them into.
What to do, okay?
Okay.
So the first thing that I want you to do is to close your eyes. And just be aware of your breath. Being aware of your in breath and your out breath. And then just feel yourself settle in, being fully present in this moment, because that's another piece of infinity is the eternal now. And I invite you to bring into your mind something that you would like to create during this cycle, during this new moon that holds the energy of 8, of infinity. And I invite you now to take your finger, and you can do this in the air, you can do this on the table, you can do this wherever you're comfortable. And I invite you to just trace the number 8. And be fully present as you're tracing the 8. Be aware of what you're creating. And continue to trace the 8. Each time you go around, imagine whatever you are creating is already here. It's already manifest. It's already in your life. And feel it. Feel it in your body. How does it feel when you have manifest your creation? And continue drawing the 8. And now I invite you, on the completion of the next 8, to just allow your finger to rest. And take a deep breath. And while exhaling, mentally repeat and visualize or imagine the number 8 3 times. And now I invite you to thank the universe, or thank your guide, your teachers, your God, whatever you're comfortable with, for bringing this into your life. And when you're ready, take a deep breath and open your eyes.
I feel that was a good place actually to just end and let people be with that. And we can talk more about it on Tuesday at the global party. How about that? Because it's still the 3rd day after the new moon.
Yes, that sounds fine.
Okay.